Update: my mother-in-law hit our son and my husband defended her. Original post: I'm 30 female and my husband is 29. We have a 3-year-old son. He is from South America. I'll call him Juan. He came to my country as an immigrant and can now stay permanently if he wants to. I've only met my mother-in-law in person on the day of our wedding, and she seemed like a nice old Latin lady. I'll call her Maria. She recently came to the country for a few weeks. Juan invited her so she could meet our son and see the wonders of our country, like gray skies, old buildings, and old people. She absolutely loved our son and was so happy to see him and play with him. Everything went well, but one day I left him with her for a moment while Juan and I went shopping for dinner. We were out for less than half an hour, and when we came back, our son was crying and came running to me as soon as he saw me come through the door. I asked Maria what had happened, and she said he was misbehaving, so I hit him with a spoon and he started to cry. I couldn't believe what she had said, so I asked her to repeat it, and she did, saying it as if she was proud of it. I asked her why she was so proud of hitting my son. She said she only hit him once, as if that made it better. This started an argument. She said that children need to be hit once in a while, or they'll become delinquents. She said that all her children were regularly hit with spoons or sandals, and they all turned out fine. I couldn't stand it, so I told her to get out. She could stay in a hotel and wouldn't be allowed near my son again. She was so angry and started insulting me in Spanish, which I only half understood. It took me 3 hours to get her out of the house. Then I continued to argue with Juan, because he said nothing the whole time. He said he didn't like it, but it was true that they turned out well. I said corporal punishment is never okay, but that made him angry. He said, I challenge you to find a single mama Latina who has never hit her children, not even once. That's the way we were brought up, because otherwise we would have become weak men. Then he went on to say that I was suggesting an entire culture of millions of people had been brought up wrong, and that was racist. That's the short version, because we ended up arguing most of the night. I didn't let Maria see our son until she went back to her country, and Juan went to sleep at a friend's. All my friends chalk it up to culture shock and say I'm crazy to die on that hill, and Juan is still very angry with me. So, am I the a-hole and racist? Now for the top comments before reading the updates. He was pretty quick to call you racist because you disagreed with something. That's so BS. It comes across as very manipulative. Not the a-hole. I was a Latin kid. I'm a Latina mother, married to a Latino dad living in a Latin country, and I was never hit by my mom, and we have never hit our children. Considering I am from the US and my parents used wooden spoons and belts on us, I think it's more of a generational thing than a cultural thing. And there will always be some older people that never hit their kids because they realized it was wrong on their own. Not the a-hole. It's not a race issue. My Eastern European mother would do the same. Just because that's the way it always was doesn't make it any less abusive. You need to talk to your husband about how you want to parent your son. It sounds like you haven't had to resort to hitting so far, so why start now? Just because your mother-in-law is incapable of managing a toddler? My white Anglo mother used to hit me. I even developed a flinch response. My teenage friends would deliberately provoke and laugh about it by raising a hand up near my face. She broke wooden spoons over my sister's butt. What did it teach us? To be aggressive. I had to learn how to manage my emotions in my 20s. My response OP's mother-in-law would be to hit her with a spoon. I cannot stand people who attack the vulnerable. My parents are standard white Americans who hit me as a kid, and all it did was teach me fear and distrust. I never understood why what I did was wrong, thus never learning how to manage my behavior. Like you, my 20s were spent catching up on emotional regulation. It finally clicked that the reason my parents used corporal punishment was because they lacked the maturity and emotional regulation themselves to properly react to children being, well, children. Whatever the outcome and however it affects each individual child, it's not good. Edit. Thanks all for your support, and thanks for clarifying it isn't a cultural thing. Yes, there are older people in my own country who still defend corporal punishment, but him insisting that this is a cultural thing and therefore shouldn't be criticized was bollocks. I tried to contact him to talk, but he keeps leaving me on read while uploading stories at a pub at the same time. I'm furious, honestly, but I'll see what I can do. Now for the first update 5 months later. Hi everyone, it's been a while. I had forgotten about this account, but I was cleaning this computer before selling it, and I was still logged in. So, on my last post, my mother-in-law came to visit our country. She and my husband Juan are from South America. We left her alone with the baby for a moment, only to find out she had hit him because he was behaving like a baby. My husband defended her and called me racist because, according to him, every Latin American parent hits their kids and it's okay. But it's not okay with me at all. So, the situation kept going on for a while. This became a huge issue in our marriage, and then Juan confessed that he had also hit our son when I was at home. He believes that is the only way to discipline a child, and that gentle parenting doesn't work. That was it for me. The problems got bigger and bigger, while he kept insisting that this way of parenting is the reason why Latin Americans are more resilient than people in northern countries, and that people here are too soft and sensitive. We started fighting every single day, and then I just asked for a divorce. After that, he became so verbally violent that now we communicate through lawyers only. I have plenty of evidence of him confessing to hitting our son, and in his testimonies, he confirms it but says it's not that serious. This is stressful, and I'm not doing well. So I have to sell a few things to pay for bills and debts. I'm going for full custody, while he is doing the same, claiming that I'm an unfit mother for not teaching our son discipline. Well, enough of my drama. I have to go and do something else. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for standing up for your kid. You're a good mother. Your husband is an a-hole, to say the least. I have a Latina mother, and she never even attempted to hit me once in my first 20 years of life. I moved to a different country when I got married, and actually defended me when my dad was about to hit me when I was around 7 or 8. Hitting oftentimes creates adults with a lot of stress, anxiety, and fear to voice out their feelings. Same story for me. Both my Latina mom and non-Latino father were disciplined through belts and paddles as kids, and neither wanted to be that kind of parent with my brother and I. If anything, it only made them fear their parents and hide information from them. I'm still upset that her soon-to-be ex called her racist over this. Incredibly manipulative. Stay strong, OP. Break the cycle of violence for your child. I love how your ex just openly admits to physical abuse of a baby or toddler and thinks the judge will be on his side. Boy about to learn how El Norte handles that nonsense. Can't believe he called her racist and then spouted some nonsense about Latino supremacy because they hit their kids. Every accusation is a confession with this guy. Report them for child abuse. Even if it doesn't really go anywhere, you'll have it on record and it will hinder his chances of custody. The fact you have messages where he admits to hitting the kid only strengthens the case. Supervised visits only. He is never to be left alone with a child. Edit. I wasn't expecting so many people to read this, but wow, thank you everyone. To be clear, my husband wasn't beating our son in a way that could put his life in danger, but for example, he wrapped a spoon in clothes so when it hit, it still hurt but didn't leave marks on the skin. He described this to me as a way to make me see that it's not that serious, but it's still unacceptable. This is not an attempt to make Latin people look like abusive parents, but Juan really thinks that because he grew up normalizing it, everybody does it, and that people who weren't raised that way are weak. And yes, we had talked about how to raise our child, but I always thought that not hitting them ever was obvious. I'm not sure when I might update with something important. I don't even have a court date yet, so it will take a while, but I'll be reading your comments. Thanks for all of your support, but I can't keep reading your stories of child abuse. I'm so sorry. I'm glad the majority of you are doing better now, but I just can't keep reading them. It's actually making me feel so bad. That's the downside of having empathy. Sorry. Second update another 3 months later. I have no freaking energy for context here. I'm so damn angry and frustrated. My husband and I are divorcing, but this is so slow as you can imagine. He has been such a pain in the butt about it and trying to put every roadblock he could think of. He got silent for some days. Damn silent, like he fell off the edge of the earth. Then he sent me a message of him with his mom on a beach with a beer and a caption that said in Spanish, which translates to something like, "Try to ask me for child support from here, you bitch," and then blocked me. I'm so angry. Nobody knew he left the country. His friends, co-workers, the girl that I have a suspicion he was cheating on me with. Nobody. Seems like he is at his home country, and yes, he is from a coastal city where some of his family members still live in. I'm damn devastated and feel so stupid for ever thinking this could ever be a good man for my child. I was fighting to get custody of our child, only for him to run away like a damn smirking coward. I wasn't expecting to become a single mother with a deadbeat husband at my age, but here I am. Go after court-ordered child support anyway. The judgment will remain if he ever tries to return to the United States, if that's where you live. Get full custody, even if he isn't in the country. It is one way to prevent him from taking the child abroad. You might be able to have his rights taken, so that if you meet another guy and remarry, your new husband could adopt your son, if that's what you decide you want at some point. Make sure the judge sees the photo of your husband on the beach, and when your son is old enough, show it to him too. And him running away to another country isn't good for him either. If he tries to enter back into the country, his passport will flag him, because if OP goes to court and he's a no-show, it is considered contempt. I hate what this country is doing to people that are not from the US lately, but in this case, I would look the other way if he ever tried to come back here. Save what he sent you, go to a lawyer. Going to another country doesn't always mean they're out of reach from the law. Guess he might have assets where you live together? Anyway, go to a lawyer. Especially if the dad is a digital worker employed with a US-based company. Under those circumstances, his wages can be garnished. You should really check to see if his country is part of the Hague Convention. I'd be concerned he may remove the child as well. You should bring this to the attention of your lawyer immediately. Also, I'd wager his friends, family, and girlfriend knew exactly what he was planning. As everyone else has said, still carry on with your child support case in the meantime. I didn't know it existed, but according to Google, his country is part of the Hague Convention. Awesome. Him leaving the country and sending you that text is almost guaranteed to get you full custody. Please save it somehow. Screenshot it if it's on an app that can have messages deleted, and don't delete it on your end for whatever reason. He screwed himself over. Do not block him either. Chances are he may unblock you and give you more ammunition for your custody and divorce case. I know things hurt too much right now to rejoice in that, but I do pray that one day you can look back and laugh over how royally he screwed himself. Last story. Am I the a-hole for reconsidering my engagement after he told me he will cheat on me if I don't have sex with him? My fiancé, 28, and I, 29 female, have been engaged for 3 months. This weekend he wanted to talk. He basically told me that he's read lots of stories about wives losing their libido and putting their husbands through a dead bedroom, or only having sex once a week. He said he will never accept that fate for himself, and if I neglect him sexually, he will likely sleep with other women, as in cheat on me. He felt that he needed to tell me this because sex is important to him and he needs me to understand that he's not going to be the guy who jerks off in the garage like a loser for the rest of his life. If I potentially want him to be okay with less sex, then he is not the one for me. I was stunned and started to cry. He tried to console me and told me that he wouldn't cheat if I got sick and couldn't have sex, but he doesn't want to be sexually neglected otherwise. I left, and I've been reconsidering the engagement. I talked to my mom, and she just said that he's just saying this, he won't cheat, and he won't have time to cheat when he's busy with household responsibilities. My friend said that any man will eventually cheat if he's not getting it at home, so even if I leave him, I'll be in the same position with any other man. Don't get me wrong, I have friends who are supportive of me. It's just that everyone likes him, especially my mom. She thinks I'm missing a lifetime opportunity if I leave him. What makes me even more mad is that he himself is the most supportive of me in this whole thing. He's being understanding and acknowledges that I may not feel safe with him because of his comments. He's telling me to make the decision on my own and not to care about what my mom has to say because it's my life. He has never given me any reason to doubt him or see him in a bad light. It's the best relationship I've ever had. That's why I agreed to marry him. I get that sex is important, but still, would all men really risk their marriage for it? I am filled with doubts. Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. This man is not ready to be in a serious relationship, and you deserve someone that will respect you. I feel that he doesn't really want to marry me, and that's why he is being so supportive. He doesn't want to be the bad guy and end the relationship. Just ask him if the roles were reversed and he wasn't fulfilling your needs. Would he be okay with you cheating on him? I did. He told me that would never happen. He will never neglect me. That is simply not true, hun. It's easy to say stuff like that when we cannot fathom being in the other place. I don't think you should take what he says lightly. His comment shows that he prioritizes sex above the relationship. Married for 34 years, we've been through everything together. Cancer, deaths, the stress of caring for kids and aging parents, you name it. Life events take a toll on your sex life. Want to know what my husband and I did when we weren't as intimate as we wanted to be? We made time for each other. We found ways to reconnect. Want to know what he didn't do? Cheat. He has a really close group of friends. Want to know what they would never consider doing? Cheating on their wives. This any man will eventually cheat stuff is utter rot. Emotionally mature men find ways to communicate and grow with the women they love. I hope you don't settle for less. We've been together for 21 years. We have 2 children, a daughter with special needs, jobs taking a toll, stress, fatigue. But never ever did one of us cheat or force the other to have sex. OP, you're not the a-hole. I'm feeling he doesn't want to marry you and is giving you a reason to leave, so he doesn't come out being the a-hole for breaking off the engagement. Maybe he already has his eyes on another woman and is searching for a way out. Who knows? If not, what he is asking is just not fair.